Kunja Bihari. Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai. Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai. Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe. Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe. राधे मेरी स्वामी मैं राधे को दास जन्म जन्म दीजो मोहे वृंदावन को वास. Hare Krishna. First of all, offer my millions of obeisances, lotus feet of Asmade Guru Path Padman Pila Pavishta, Jagat Guru Shishimad Bhakti-Vidanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, and offer my obeisances to lotus feet of Trirendi Sannyasi, Shrimad Bhakti-Vidanta Dandi Maharaj, Namnishta Santa Shri Aniruddhas Prabhuji, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are gathered here, please accept my humble obeisances. So, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name is the seventh aparadha. We should not commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. By the performance of Nama Sankirtan, all types of obstacles and anarthas are dissipated. But if someone utters Harinam and repeatedly performs sinful activities on the strength of their chanting, their problems and obstacles will not be dispelled. Rather, a most fearful aparadh will be committed. The holy name is composed of Shuddha Sattva, pure transcendental goodness. Uttering Harinam with faith will dispel all the obstacles and impediments caused by weakness of heart, Hridaya Daurbalya, and one will not be inclined to commit sinful acts. Rather, the desire to sin and even ignorance will be removed. If a devotee due to previous impressions, sanskaras, inadvertently commits a sinful act, there is no need for him to atone for it. Rather, Shri Hari, who is present in his heart, will remove that sin. Someone may think Harinam purifies one of all sins. So there is no harm if I sin. My chanting of Shri Hari's sacred name will remove my sin. Repeatedly committing sinful acts on the strength of the holy name leads to Namaprad. The offender must repent. Alas, what a grievous offender I am. I have used the supremely powerful transcendental Harinam, which easily bestows direct service to Bhagavan and praying for him, to commit detestable sinful acts. Alas, I will not be delivered even after suffering millions upon millions of torments in the hellish planets by grievously lamenting in this way and incessantly engaging in Harinam Sankirtan while offering obeisances and serving the Vaishnavas. This aparadha will be dispelled. To consider religiosity, vows, offering of oblations, fire, and other ordinary pious activities to move forward to chanting the holy name is the eighth aparadha. All our Goswamis have said, and it has been written in all the Shrutis, Smritis, and other scriptures, that there is no difference between Nam, the holy name, and Nami, the possessor of the name, Shri Hari. The holy name is the direct manifestation of Shri Hari in the form of syllables and is therefore not accessible to the material senses. The holy name is self-manifesting. When the practitioner becomes inclined to utter Harinam, it will directly manifest on his tongue. To consider the performance of mundane pious activities such as offering oblations into fire to be equal to the omnipotent self-effulgent Shri Harinam constitutes a grievous offense to Harinam. It is indicative of significant negligence in chanting the holy name. This offense will be dispelled by abandoning worldly company, faithfully hearing the glories of Harinam in the association of great devotees, dedicated to chanting, surrendering oneself in a mood of repentance, and ceaselessly uttering Harinam. Giving instructions on the chanting of the holy name to faithless persons constitutes an act of only those with faith in the holy name are truly qualified to chant it. If one gives instructions on the holy name to faithless persons, they negate it. The names of Sri Krishna are everything, the sole treasure for all souls. If given to faithless, stool-eating, hog-like enjoyers, they will not appropriately honor the priceless jewel of Harinam. They will fully neglect and rejected. This aparad will ruin them and render the spiritual master who instructed them on the holy name an offender. Some people perform Namakirtan loudly but not with the intention of making a particular person hear it, even though it is heard by both the faithful and the faithless. The loud performance of Kirtan is not being discouraged here. Rather, the meaning is to discourage one from imparting instructions on Harinam to one who lacks faith. When faith awakens in the heart of the disciple, instructions on chanting the holy name may be given to him, but it is never appropriate to instruct faithless persons on the holy name. If one who commits such offense, if one who commits such an offense remorsefully takes full shelter of Shri Harinam and chants continuously, this aparad will be dispelled. To have developed no affection for the holy name, even after hearing its unlimited glories, is the 10th aparad. Some persons, despite hearing the glories of Harinam, still regard the perishable body to be their identity and objects related to the body to be their own. Those with the false ego, with this false ego, remain intoxicated by sense gratification, and as a result, they do not respect Harinam but become offenders to God. One who has committed this aparad should remain in the company of saintly persons and serve them while chanting the Harinam with full remorse. By doing so, one will develop love for Bhagwan's names and this offense will be eradicated. Anarthas that arise from the practice of bhakti, text 4. Ata bhakti utthaste chamula sakhata upashakha iva bhaktaiva dhanadilabha puja pratisthaya स्ववृत्तिभिः साधकचित्तम् अपि उपरज्य स्ववृद्ध्या मूलशाखम् इव भक्तिम् अपि कुण्ठयितुं प्रभवन्तीति bhavanva. Next, anarthas that arise from bhakti are discussed. These anarthas spring like parasites, like parasitic creepers from the main branch of the wish-fulfilling vine of bhakti and awaken the yearning for wealth, lava, adoration, puja, and recognition, pratishtha. They arise from the perfect performance of, from the imperfect performance of bhakti, and the heart of the practitioner is tainted by their influence. In this way, they grow so extensively that they can even stun the main branch of the creeper of bhakti, Piyusha Varshini Vritti. At the beginning of this third chapter, at the beginning of this third shower of nectar, Srila Vishwanath Thakur has given an elaborate description of anarthas. There are four types. Those arising from impious activities. Number two, those arising from pious activities. Number three, those arising from offenses. And number four, those arising from bhakti. The author has already described the first three and is now describing the fourth. Such anarthas are known as bhakti uttha because they arise from the imperfect practice of bhakti. Everyone is naturally attracted to those who engage in bhajan or Sri Hari. Therefore, when a devotee is doing bhajan, automatically all types of wealth, respect, worship, and position come to him. They pose formidable obstacles to the practitioner's progress in bhajan, the path leading to prema. The sadhakas desiring to attain prema should be extremely cautious to protect themselves from desires for these things and proceed on the path of bhakti with great humility and a feeling of worthlessness. Once the desires for wealth, adoration, and recognition tend the heart of a sadhaka, his devotional practice will only intensify these anarthas. For this reason, the bhakti with anarthas of wealth, adoration, and recognition are said to be like the parasitic creepers, upashakas of the root of the wish-fulfilling vine of bhakti. The upashakas grow from the main tree. They stunt its growth by nourishing themselves with the water sprinkled on it and taking its sap, eventually dry it up. Similarly, the bhakti anarthas of wealth, adoration, and recognition taint the heart of a sadhaka with their tendencies and stunt the growth of the original wish-fulfilling vine of bhakti. In his instructions to Sri Rupa Goswami, Sriman Mahaprabhu has said, Kintu jati latar sangye uthe upashakha bhukti mukti vancha jato asangyatar lekha nishiddhachara kutinati jiva himsanam लाभ पूजा प्रतिष्ठादि जत उपशाखा गणम शेख जल पाहिया उपशाखा बाढ़ी जाए स्तंभ या मूल शाखा बाढ़ी देना पाए प्रथमे उपशाखार करे छेदन तबे मूल शाखा बाड़ी जाय वृंदावन. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 19th chapter, 158 to 161st verse. Sometimes the parasitic creepers, upashakas of the desire for enjoyment or liberation, sprout alongside the vine of devotion. These upashakas are unlimited. They include forbidden behavior, duplicity, violence to other living entities, and the desire for wealth, fame, and recognition. They drink up all the water of the sadhaka's hearing and chanting. In this way, they are nourished and flourish like the growth of the Bhakti Lata is impaired. An intelligent devotee must uproot a parasitic creeper as soon as he spots it, so that the original vine of devotion may flourish and reach the lotus feet of Sri Krishna in Vrindavan. Here, Sriman Mahaprabhu is saying that the desire for material enjoyment and liberation, as well as improper conduct, duplicity, harming others, other living entities, and desiring wealth, adoration, and recognition are called upashaka. For the jivas who are Sri Krishna's eternal servants, desire for anything other than him, devotion to him are nothing but duplicity. They represent the jiva's corrupt tendencies. When even one of these tendencies arises in the heart, many other such desires begin to take shelter there also, and it becomes full of longings. In such a condition, the desire for bhakti will disappear. With a heart full of desires for sense gratification, wealth, adoration, and fame, the practitioner will engage in wicked, forbidden acts to obtain them. Acts that are condemned in the scriptures, such as speaking lies and deceitful words, behaving with arrogance, harming others, and stealing. Externally adorned with tilak and tulsi neck beads, he mechanically goes through the motions of hearing and chanting. He puts on a show of humility to make sure that his wicked behavior does not come into public view, to avoid censure from the community of devotees. All the while, he is secretly engrossed in depraved activities and other kinds of duplicity. Finally, his heart fills with so much of that deceit that not even the slightest trace of desire for bhajan remains. Therefore, Sriman Mahaprabhu gives the instruction to first cut these parasitic creepers. The desires for material enjoyment and liberation may have already been cut, but it is extremely difficult to remove the desire for recognition, pratishtha. Srila Sanatana Goswami writes in the epilogue of Hari Bhakti Vilas, सर्व त्यागे अपि अहेयायः अहेयायः सर्व अनर्थ भुवश्चते कुर्युः कुर्युः प्रतिष्ठाविष्ठाय यत्नम asparashane varam. Even if one has relinquished everything else, the desire for recognition, which is the root cause of all anarthas, is extremely difficult to give up. For this reason, the practitioner is to remain extra vigilant to save himself from the stool of this desire. When this desire for Pratishtha finds a place in the heart, then Pratishtha's most beloved companion, envy, Matsarya, also takes shelter there. They cohabit because of their reciprocal conjugal mood. The dog-eating outcast of envy impregnates the witch of the desire for recognition, which begets between violence, himsa, and jealousy, irsha. Their combined devastating dance completely destroys all good tendencies of the heart. And in such an impure heart, where is there room for the desire for bhakti? The sadhaka should therefore not desire honor, amani, but instead offer all respects to others, manada, thus carefully abandoning the desire for honor forever. 4b. The five stages of eradication of anarthas. Tesham chaturnaam anarthanam nivrittir api panchavidha ekadeshavartini bahudeshavartini prayiki purna atyantiki cheti. Bhavanavad. The eradication of the four types of anarthas occurs in five stages. Number one, partial, ekadeshavartini. Number two, extensive, bahudeshavartini. Number three, almost complete, prayiki. Number four, complete Purna. And number five, absolute Authentic. Piyusha Varshini Vritti. Within the stages of Bhakti Sadhan mentioned from Shraddha to the attainment of Prema, there is the stage of Anartha Nivritti, cessation of impediments to Bhakti. Now the removal, Nivritti of these four types of Anarthas is being explained. These Anarthas do not vanish immediately but are eradicated in five stages. Ekadarshi Vartini, Bahudeshavartini, Praiki, Purna, and Atyantiki. Number one, Ekadeshavartini. The partial clearance of anarthas can be likened to the deduction of 2 or 4 annas from a rupee. 1 anna equals 1/16th of a rupee. This stage is called Ekadeshavartini Nivritti. Number two, Bahudeshavartini. The extensive eradication of anarthas can be likened to the deduction of 12 annas from a rupee. This stage is called Bahudeshavartini Nivritti. Number three, Praiki. The almost complete clearance of all anarthas with only a little remaining can be likened to the reduction of 96 paisa from rupee. 1 paisa equals 1/100th of rupee. This stage is called Praiki Anartha Nivritti. Number four, Purna. The complete eradication of anarthas with nothing remaining can be likened to the full deduction of 16 annas from a rupee. This stage is called Purna Anartha Nivritti. Atyantiki, the absolute annihilation of anarthas is no possibility of anarthas regenerating again. In the previous stage of Purna Nivritti, anarthas are destroyed, but there is still a possibility that they may regenerate for some reason. At Atyantiki Nivritti, however, there is not there is no possibility of this happening. The sequence in which anarthas arising from aparats are vanquished. Tatra agrano dagda pato bhagna iti न्यायेन अपराधोत्थानाम् अनर्थानां निवृत्तिर भजन क्रिया अनन्तरम् एकदेशवर्तिनि निष्ठायाम् उत्पन्नायां बहुलदेशवर्तिनि रताव उत्पद्यमानायां प्रायिकी प्रेम्णि पूर्णा श्री भगवत प्राप्तावात्यंतिकी भावनुवा ग्रामो दग्धा पटो भगना. The village is burnt, the cloth is torn. According to this logic, after commencing the practice of devotional service, bhajana kriya, the eradication of anarthas arising from past aparadhas is partial. Upon developing firm faith, nishtha, and the eradication is extensive. When one develops transcendental affection, rati, for Shri Bhagwan, the eradication is almost complete. When the sun of love of Godhead, prema, rises, his destruction is complete. When one obtains the lotus feet of Bhagwan, that is, becomes his direct associate, the eradication of this anartha is absolute. Mm. So, Piyush Varsha Bhakti. So, we'll do the Kirtan now. Hare. Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai. Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Govinda Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai.
Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai.
Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jai Jai.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Ram Ram Hare
Gita
Hare.
Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol 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 Hari Bol.
Gita Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol.
Jai Gopimanande Hari Hari Bol. So likewise, after commencing Bhajana Kriya, which we have discussed previously, there is a gradual eradication of anarthas arising from offenses, aparadutta anarthas. But this removal is only partial, ekadasya vasthu. It is not complete. Similarly, when Nishta arises in the sadhaka, the removal of anartha is extensive, bahudesha lakshmi. When Rati or Bhava develops, the destruction of anarthas is almost complete, praiki. When Bhava condenses, it is called prema. At this stage, the devotee anartha nivritti is complete, purna. And when the devotee who is continuously engaged in love-laden bhakti receives the mercy of bhakti, he obtains direct service to the lotus feet of Bhagavan. At this stage, the eradication of anarthas is absolute, atyantiki. There is not even the slightest chance that they will return. Here one may ask if the tendency to commit aparadh can possibly arise in the heart of a devotee in whom rati or prema has arisen. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu explains, Bhavopi abhavam ayati Krishna prashtha paradata आभासतां च शनकैर् न्यूनजातीयताम् अपि. By an offense against Krishna and Krishna's dearest devotee, even bhava will disappear if the offense is serious. That bhava will become a shadow of bhava, bhava bhas, if the offense is medium, and will become bhava of a lesser category if the offense is slight. A gorilla named Dvivid was an associate of Sri Ramchandra. But because he had committed an offense at the lotus feet of Lakshman, he underwent many torments and was eventually killed at the hands of Sri Baladevji at the end of Dwapar Yuga. By such precedents, the severity of committing an offense at the lotus feet of a great devotee is understood. It is not impossible for those sadhakas in whom bhava has arisen, jatarati sadhakas, and those in whom prema has arisen, jata prema sadhakas, to commit offenses to a pure devotee. Only when the premi bhakta receives the full mercy of Sri Bhagavan and obtains direct darshan of him and service to him, does the absolute cessation, attaki nivritti of aparadutta anarthas takes place, with no possibility of aparadhs being committed again. The offense of Chitraketu Maharaj is in truth not an offense. Yastu tatrapi Chitraketu kadachit ko महद अपराध स प्रातिथिक एव न वास्तवः सत्यम प्रेम संपत्तौ पार्षदत्व वृतत्वयोर वैशिष्ठयो भाव सिद्धांतात. We hear that once Maharaj Chitraketu committed an offense to a pure devotee. Even after receiving the audience of Bhagwan, his committing an offense was only apparent. However, it was not real. Since the same treasure of loving devotion to Bhagwan remained in his heart, both as an associate of the Lord and as Vritrasur, there is no difference between these two distinctive features of his. This is the conclusion, Siddhanta. After attaining Bhagwan, the cessation of anarthas arising from aparadh is absolute, authentic. This means that it is impossible to commit an offense to an exalted devotee, Mahat Aparadh. Here a question may arise, if this is so, how did Chitraketu Maharaj, even after attaining Bhagwan, develop the propensity to offend Shriman Mahadev? In response, the revered author says that although we hear that Chitraketu Maharaj committed aparadh to a great soul, this is not the reality. The offense was only apparent. It is said that the result of committing an offense to a pure devotee is that one's bhakti diminishes or vanishes. Parvati cursed Chitraketu Maharaj and he became a demon. But still his bhakti remained unaffected. Phalena phalakaranam anumiyate. We can infer that the cause by the result alone. Therefore, Chitraketu Maharaj did not actually commit Mahadaparad. The history of Sri Chitraketu Maharaj is narrated in the sixth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapters 14 to 16. He was the sovereign ruler of the land of Shurasen. Despite possessing unmatched royal opulence, he remained downcast because he had no son. King Chitraketu had accepted the hands of 10 million beautiful women in the hope of having a son, but he remained without progeny. One day, by the desire of Bhagavan, the great sage Angira came to his royal palace. The king revealed his anguish and implored him repeatedly for a son. Maharishi Angira prepared charu, a special sweet rice used in oblations, and offered it to a sacred sacrificial fire. Offered it into a sacred sacrificial fire. He fed the remnants to the principal queen Kritadyuti, saying, "May this produce a son who will give the king both happiness and distress." He then left. After eating the sweet rice, the queen became pregnant and in due course gave birth to a most beautiful baby boy. The child began to grow just like a waxing crescent moon. Naturally, King Chitraketu's attachment to Queen Kritadyuti increased. Seeing this, the other queens became stricken with envy and hatred, and they killed the child by feeding him poison. The great sage had previously stated that the king would have a child that would cause him happiness and distress. Upon hearing of his son's death, Maharaj Chitraketu became overwhelmed with sorrow. At that time, the supremely merciful Shri Narad arrived, along with Shri Angira, Rishi. Shri Narad gave the king much instruction and offered him solace. Nonetheless, it was extremely difficult for the king to understand his teachings. Finally, those great sages summoned the soul of the departed child and had the child pacify the king by imparting instructions about the unsubstantial nature of this material world, world, and the fleeting nature of relationships between father and son, mother and father, and so forth. Becoming detached from this world, the king engaged in bhajan under the direction of Shinarad and achieved the direct audience of Lord Sankarshan, who, being pleased with him, instructed him on the fundamental truths of Dharma and Jnana. The king ascended a divine airplane and became the ruler of the Vidyadharas, wandering freely in the valleys of Mount Sumeru. One day, Maharaj, here the footnote is there. Vidyadharas are a race of celestial beings who are attendants of Lord Shiva and who possess material mystic knowledge. One day, Maharaj Chitraketu saw Bhagwan Sri Shankar in an assembly of great munis, Siddhas and Charanas, with his arm around Parvati, who was seated on his lap. As Maharaj Chitraketu came closer, he laughed loudly in the presence of Parvati Devi. Just see the situation of the great instructor of Dharma, the Guru of the whole world, Sri Mahadevi said. In such a learned assembly, he has placed his wife on his lap. How shameless! Bhagwan Sri Shankar knew that Chitraketu was a dear devotee of Bhagwan, so he simply smiled and said nothing. Parvati Devi, however, could not tolerate Chitraketu's behavior, his ridicule and disrespect. She therefore immediately cursed him. You will take birth in a most sinful demoniac race. In that way, immediately cursed him. You will take birth in a most sinful demonic race. In that way, you will never be able to disrespect great souls due to having no contact with them. King Chitraketu was not even slightly distressed by this. To please Parvati, he glorified her, accepted the curse, offered obeisances, and went on his way. He did not retaliate. His power was such that, had he so desired, he could not have cursed Parvati, but he did not. Having been damned by the goddess, Chitraketu took birth as the son of Twashta Rishi and became known as Vritrasu. His body was enormous and terrifying, and all the demigods feared him. During a great battle with the demigods, Indra, carrying a thunderbolt made from the bones of Dadichi Rishi, came to kill him. Ready to fight, Indra appeared before Vritrasur, riding the elephant Airavata. Shri Bhagwan had instructed Indra to kill Vritrasur with the thunderbolt weapon, but it fell from his hand. Vritrasur picked up the weapon, but being greatly devoted to Dharma, he personally returned it to Indra, saying, Kill me with this. I am not afraid, not even of time. Bhagwan Sri Shamsundar is before me, and I consider it my great fortune to be able to relinquish this demonic material body as I gaze upon him. While having direct realization of Bhagwan, he prayed Srimad Bhagavatam. Aham hare tava padaika mula tasanu daso bhavitasya bhuya mana smareta supater gunaste gunatuvak karma karotu kaya. Aham hare tava padaika mula dasanu daso bhavitasya bhuya mana smarata supater gunaste Oh Lord, please bestow such mercy upon me that in my next birth I may obtain the opportunity to exclusively serve the servants who had taken shelter of your lotus feet. O beloved of my life, Prana Vallabha, may my mind always remember your all auspicious qualities, my speech always describe the glories of these qualities, and my body always remain engaged in your service. नाकपृष्ठं न च पारमेष्ठं न सार्वभौमं न रसाधिपत्यं न योगसिद्धिरपुनर्भवं वा समञ्जसः तौ त्वाविरह्य काङ्क्षी. O source of all good fortune, I do not desire the heavenly planets, the realm of Brahma, or rulership over the earth or lower planetary systems, nor do I desire any mystic perfection. I do not even want liberation if it means I would have to give you up. अजात पक्षा इव मातरम खगा स्तन्यम यथा वत्सतराक्षुधार्था प्रियम प्रियेव विषितम विषण्णा मनोरविंदाक्षति दृक्षते त्वाम. O lotus-eyed one, my heart is restless to have darshan of you, just as featherless chicks eagerly look out for their mother. as hungry cows are anxious to drink the milk of their mothers, or as a lover separated from her beloved because he is in a foreign land longs to meet him. ममोत्तमश्लोकजनेषु सख्यं संसारचक्रे भ्रमता स्वकर्मभिः त्वन्मायात्मात्मजदारगेषु आसक्तचित्तस्य न नाथ भूयान्. Lord, I do not want liberation. I am not concerned if I have to repeatedly wander throughout this vicious circle of birth and death as a result of my actions. But wherever I go and in whichever species I may take birth, please grant me the loving friendship of your dear devotees. Master, I only wish that I may never have any relationship with those who are bewildered by your illusory potency and attached to house, body, wife, and sons. Thus, despite being in the body of a demon, Chitraketu Vritrasur not only remained immersed in remembrance of Bhagwan, but also achieved direct darshan of him. Shri Jiva Goswami has quoted these four verses in his Kriti Sandarbha Anuched 72, and in conclusion writes, Tat etat shuddha premodgaramaya tvenaiva Srimad Vrata Vadho asau Vilakshanatvacha Shri Bhagavata Lakshaneshu Puranantareshu गण्यते वृत्रासुरवधोपेतं तद् भागवतम् इष्यते इति. The meaning here is that Vritrasur's words reveal his immaculate prem for Bhagwan. This is why the account of the killing of Vritrasur is regarded as a special within Srimad Bhagavatam. Other Puranas also accept these prayers as uppermost among the features of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Matsya Puran also states that the killing of Vritrasur has been described in the work entitled Bhagavad Puran. 4e. Jay and Vijay voluntarily accepted an unfavorable mood toward Bhagwan. Jaya Vijayostu Aparada Karanam Prema Vijrumbita Swechaiva Sachahe Prabhuvara Devadideva Narayana Anyatralpa बलत्वात् अस्मासु तु प्रातिकूल्याभावात् उत्साह न संपद्यते तदा आवाम एव केनापि प्रकारेण प्रतिकूलीकृत्य तद् युद्ध सुखम् अनुभूयताम् इति आवयोः स्वतः परिपूर्णतायाम् अणुमात्रम् अपि न्यूनत्वम् असहमानयोः किंकरयोः प्रार्थना हटयोः स्वभक्तवात्सल्य गुणम् अपि लघुकृत्य निष्पाद्यताम् इति आकारा कदाचित् प्रसंग भवः मानसः मनसैव जेया. Bhavanvad. Furthermore, the cause of Jay and Vijay's offense was a desire born of their burgeoning prem, which they express as follows: O Master, O Lord of Lords, Narayan, we cannot see anywhere anyone powerful enough to fulfill a desire for battle. Even though we have the power to do so, we cannot oppose you, as we are devoid of an antagonistic mood toward you. Since your desire to fight is not fulfilled, please somehow awaken in us an inimical mood so that you may taste the satisfaction of combat. We cannot tolerate that you experience even the slightest diminution in the fulfillment of your autonomous desires. Therefore, we, your two order carriers, pray that even if you have to forcibly curb your quality of being affectionate to your devotees, Bhakta Vatsalya, kindly fulfill our prayer. If one even develops an offensive mentality towards the description of Chitraketu Maharaj or Jay and Vijay and concludes that Chitraketu Maharaj or Jay Vijay really committed an offense, one should overcome this by intelligent deliberation. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 5, describes the story of the four Kumaras headed by Sri Sanak Muni, cursing the associates of the Lord in Vaikuntha. Jay Vijay. Although it appears that Jay and Vijay committed aparadh to great souls, it was in truth triggered by their desire to please Bhagwan with their service. Jay and Vijay, the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, were thinking that everyone gives the Lord of Vaikuntha Shri Narayan happiness by serving him. But no one is able to facilitate the all-powerful Shri Narayan's testing the mill of combat, Yuddha Rasa. No warrior in the universe is equal to Shri Narayan. We have immense strength, but we cannot help him test the rasa of fighting because our mood is not to oppose him. Without a mood of enmity, this is not possible, they thought. Therefore, they both approached Sri Narayan and prayed, O Lord, our sole desire is for you to taste the rasa of combat. Because you are complete in yourself, we cannot tolerate you are experiencing any lacking in the fulfillment of your desires. All devotees serve you with a favorable mood, and so no one desires to help you taste the rasa of fighting. Lord, we pray that you mercifully bestow upon us a mood averse to you, so that we can fulfill your desire to taste satisfaction in combat. To satisfy their desire, Sri Narayan, the wish fulfilling desiratory of his devotees, inspired the Munis headed by Sanak Kumar to come to Vaikuntha. Solely due to Sri Narayan's inspiration, Jay and Vijay blocked the sages from entering Vaikuntha. As a result, the four sages cursed them to take birth in a race of demons. By enabling Sri Narayan to test Yuddharas, they considered their lives successful. If the inclination to serve in an adverse mood ever arises in any sadhaka, as it did with Sri Chitraketu or Jay and Vijay, then by dint of his intelligence, he should immediately cast such an offensive thought from his mind. The transcendental behavior of Bhagwan's eternal associate is inconceivable for the common people, and it is never proper for a sadhaka to imitate it. 4F. The sequence in which anarthas arising from the impious activities and bhakti are vanquished. तथा दुष्कृतानां भजनक्रियानन्तरम् एव प्रायिकी निष्ठायां जातायां पूर्णा आसक्ताव एवात्यन्तिकी तथा भक्ति उत्थानां भजनक्रियानन्तरम् एकदेशवर्तिनि निष्ठायां पूर्णरुचाव आत्यन्तिकीति अनुभवीना बहु दृशवाना दृश्वनां सम्यक् विविच्चानु मतमन्तव्यम्. The eradication of anarthas arising from impiety, dushkritijat, and piety, sukritijat, is as follows. After the stage of bhajana kriya, eradication is almost complete. Praiki. At nishtha, eradication is complete. At asakti, eradication is absolute. Atyantiki. Similarly, the eradication of anarthas arising from bhakti, bhakti jat is as follows. At bhajana kriya, eradication is partial, ekadesha vartini. At nishtha, eradication is complete, purna. At ruchi, eradication is absolute, atyantiki. Experienced and realized devotees have ascertained and revealed this after thorough deliberation. Piyusha Varshina Vritti. Srila Vishnu Thakur previously described that the cessation of anarthas takes place in 5 successive stages, and that the sadhaka thus gradually becomes free from the most prominent hindrance to bhakti, anarthas arising from aparadh. Now he is describing the sequential freedom from the other types of anarthas. At the stage of bhajana kriya, the cessation of anarthas arising from sinful activities, such as attachment to material objects, hatred, and absorption in worldly objects, is almost complete, praiki. Upon attaining the stage of nishtha, the cessation of anarthas arising from sinful activities is complete, purna. And at the stage of asakti, the cessation of such anarthas is absolute, atyantiki. And there remains no chance of their sprouting again. Srila Vishnu Thakur has not separately specified the sequence in which anarthas arising from pious activities are nullified. Absorption in the 5 types of sufferings coming from ignorance is an anartha arising from sinful activities, while absorption in material enjoyment is an anartha arising from pious activities. When one develops attachment, asakti to Sri Hari, there is no further chance of becoming absorbed in either material happiness or distress. Thus, it is understood that anarthas arising from sinful acts and those arising from pious acts are eradicated in the same sequence. Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai Radha
हरि गोविंद जय जय
राधे 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 जय 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 श्री राधे राधे राधे
जय 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 श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे जय 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 श्री राधे 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 राधे
जय 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 श्री राधे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय
राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
गोविंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग
निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग
निताय गौरांग गौर हरि
निताय गौरांग गौर हरि
निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग
निताय गौरांग निताय गौरांग
निताय गौरांग गौर हरि
निताय गौरांग गौर हरि
जय सच्चिदानंद जय सच्चिदानंद
जय सच्चिदानंद जय सच्चिदानंद
जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि
जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि
गौरा गौरा गौर हरि
गौरा गौरा गौर हरि
जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि
जय सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि
सच्चि माता प्राणदान गौर हरि
सची माता प्राणदान गौर हरि
Gora Gora Gaurari
Gora Gora Gaurari
Nitai Gauranga Gaurahari
Nitai Gauranga Gaurahari
Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga
Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga
Nitai Gauranga Gaurahari
Nitai Gauranga Gaurahari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai
Govinda Jai Gopal Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai
Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Jai
Radhe 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 Jai 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 Shri Radhe
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 Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari 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 Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari 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 Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Radhe. Hare Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Radhe. Radha Ramana, Radha Ramana, Radhe. Jai Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Radhe. Radha Kunj Hare, Radha Kunj Hare, Radhe. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan.
Giri Govardhan,
Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Lakshmi Narasimha, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha.
Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Lakshmi Hara Sri Jaya Lakshmi Hara Sri
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So we have been discussing this very important book, Shri Madhurya Kadambini, because Madhurya Kadambini is apparently very important book because it may happen that we commit some offenses. So discussed Sukruti Uttanartha, Nishkruti Uttanartha, Bhakti Uttanartha, all the Uttanarthas are discussed. So after this, the author delineates the sequence of nullification anarthas arising from the practice of bhakti, bhakti such as desires for material gain, labha, worship, puja, and recognition, pratishtha. Upon engaging in the practice of bhakti at the stage of bhajana kriya, there is a partial cessation, ekadesha vartini nivritti of the anarthas that arise from the practice of bhakti. This is because this type of anartha manifests from bhajana kriya. At the stage of nishtha, the cessation is complete, purna, and at the stage of ruchi, the cessation is absolute, atyantiki. In other words, upon developing ruchi for bhajan, the desire for gain, worship, and recognition is automatically dispelled. This has been considered by those with vast knowledge and experience. After deliberating on this topic, the purport is that anarthas do not diminish before the stage of bhajana kriya. Anarthas gradually begin to diminish after one takes to the practice of bhajana and becomes steadfast. If one becomes lax in bhajan, one's anarthas will intensify, so much so that the desire to perform bhajana will disappear altogether. It is therefore most essential to remain engaged in bhajana, which is attained by developing faith, shraddha, and receiving the association of sadhu sangha. Without such engagement, the cessation of anarthas is impossible, and until one's anarthas are removed, it is entirely futile even to think that one can attain Bhagavan. The sequence in which anarthas are eradicated. The eradication of anarthas arising from impious and pious activities, dushkritya anarthas and sukritya anarthas. Eradication of anarthas arising from the practice of devotion, bhakti anarthas. Eradication of anarthas arising from offenses, aparadutta anarthas. So absolute, atyantiki. So this is a chart here, complete Purna, almost complete Prayiki, extensive Bahudesha Vartini, partial Ekadasha Vartini. You should study this chart. It's a very good chart. So when you are doing Bhajana Kriya, then you'll see that in Bhajana Kriya, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema, and attaining Bhagwan's association, how the anarthas are going away. So obviously, all the anarthas, Dushkritya anartha, Bhakti anarthas, and Aparadutta anarthas will vanish once we have attained the association of Bhagwan. So, text 5, Shri Nam Prabhu conceals his power from offenders to the holy name, being displeased with them. Nano amha sammarat akhilam sakrudya deva sakala lokasya tarani riva tamir jaradhim jayati jagan mangalam harir nam. This is a shloka from Padyavali. Iti yan nama sakrush shravanat पुक्कशो अपि विमुच्यते संसारात् इति आदि प्रमाण शताद अजामिलादि उपाख्यानाश्व एकस्यैव नामाभासस्या विद्या पर्यंत सर्वानर्थ निवृत्ति पूर्वक भगवत प्रापकत्वानुभावाद भगवत भक्तानां दुरितादि निवृत्ताव उक्तः क्रमो न संगच्छते सत्यम नामना एतावती एव शक्ति नात्र संध्या नामनाम यावती शक्ति पाप निर्हणे हरे तावत कर्तुम न कर्तोति पाप कर्तुम न शक्नोति पातकम पातकेन्द्र. So परंतु सापराधिष्व अप्रसन्नेन तेन यत् सशक्तिः सम्यक् न प्रकाश्यते तत् एव दुष्टत् दुष्टतादीनां जीवातुर इति अवगन्तव्यम्. When the sun-like holy name rises even once, a multitude of sins, which are like ocean of darkness, are immediately destroyed. Patyavali, verse number 60. By hearing the name of Shri Bhagavan just once, even a wicked, dog-eating outcast becomes liberated from material existence. Srimad Bhagavatam 6 Canto 26 chapter 44th verse. In the scriptures, there are hundreds of similar evidences. Furthermore, the history of Ajamil clearly demonstrates that simply chanting a semblance of the holy name, Namabhas, just once destroys all of one's anarthas, including ignorance, and simultaneously awakens realization by which one attains Sri Bhagwan. This appears to be incongruent with the sequence of eradication of anarthas we just outlined. It is indeed true that the holy name possesses such potency, of which there is absolutely no doubt. But because Nam Prabhu is displeased with offenders, he does not reveal his full potential to them. This is to be understood as the sole reason why the anarthas of such persons are not removed. Piyusha Vashni Vritti. With various scriptural statements, Srila Vishwanath Thakur harmonizes the five stages of Anartha Vritti with the glories of the holy name. Sri Padyavali 16 states, Amha Sammarat Akhiram Sakrudya Deva Sakala Lokasya Taranir Iva Timira Jalathim Jayati Jagan Mangalam Hare Nama. Just as the rising sun dissipates all darkness, similarly by uttering the holy name just once, all the sins of a living entity, which are like an ocean of darkness, are destroyed. All glories to this all auspicious Harinam. In Srimad Bhagavatam 6 Canto 16 chapter 44th verse, King Chitraketu has glorified Bhagavan Ananta as follows. Nahi Bhagavan Aghatitam Idam Twaddarshanam Runam Akila Papakshaya Yannama Sakrut Shravanat Pukkasho Api Mumuchate Sansara. Oh Bhagavan, only direct audience of you destroys all of our sins. This is not impossible because merely by hearing your name once, even a wretched, dog-eating outcast is liberated from material existence. Thousands of such evidences describing the glories of Harinam are found throughout the scriptures. This is clearly understood from the life of Ajamil. By his calling the name of his son Narayan, that is, by uttering a semblance of the holy name Namabhas, all of his sins were destroyed. His ignorance, which is the root of all sin, was also vanquished, and he attained Bhagavan's lotus feet. How then can the sequential cessation of anarthas, Ekadarsha Varshini, Bahudesha Bhartini, Prayaki, Purna, and Atyantiki applied to a faithful devotee who accepts initiation from the bona fide spiritual master according to the precepts of Shastra and engages in Harinam Kirtan? Srila Vishwanath Thakur raises this point and reconciles it. Whatever the scriptures explain in regard to the glories of Srinam is completely true. There can be no doubt about this. Actually, the scriptures have described but a fraction of Srinam's limitless glories. There is no reason to misbelieve their statements. One who harbors any mistrust regarding this will be guilty of the terrible namaprad of thinking the glories of the holy name to be an exaggeration or of the aparad of concocting a mundane interpretation. By uttering Namavas, an inoffensive person destroys all his sins and thereafter attains Vaikuntha. In his Saratha Darshini commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 2nd chapter, 9th and 10th verses, Srila Vishwanath Thakur states, Niraparadhanam tu Bhagavata praptau nasti vilambastesham hi Bhagavan nama grahanam वैकुंठारोहणम चोति द्वे एव भूमिके यथा अजामिलादिना. This means that an inoffensive person will not be delayed in attaining Bhagwan because he does not have passed through the stages of Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya and so forth. For him, there are only two steps: chanting the holy name, Namagrahan, and ascending to Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha Arohana. Persons such as Ajamil exemplify this. Ajamil had committed many sinful acts, but he was not an aparadhi. Because of his unremitting attachment to wife and children, there was no opportunity for him to commit offenses such as blaspheming sadhus. As a result, there was nothing to obstruct the potency of Bhagwan's holy name from illuminating his inoffensive heart. On the other hand, although the holy name possesses all potency, Sarva Shaktiman, it does not manifest its potency to offenders. Be displeased with them. We should not harbor even the slightest doubt about the glories of the holy name when it does not manifest its power. It is to be understood that the only reason for this is the iniquity of the aparadhi and his anarthas. Offenders do not meet with Yamaraj, but they cannot become purified. Kintu Yamadutana tad akramane shakti nate yamaha pasha bhutascha tad tad bhatan swapnepi pashanti iti ade न विद्यते तस्य यमेर ही शुद्धि इति अत्र यमेर योगांगेर इति व्याख्येयम्. Even so, the envoys of Yamaraj, the Lord of Death, have no power to arrest such offenders through the holy name. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, even in their dreams, such persons never see Yamaraj or his emissaries who carry ropes. So Padma Puran states even the practice of self-restraint, Yama, cannot purify offenders to the holy name. Here the word Yama refers to the 8 divisions of yogic mysticism, Ashtanga Yoga, such as adherence to rules, Yama, and regulations, Niyama. So here we'll stop today. It means that even an offender to the holy name doesn't have to go to the hell, but he will not be purified. So na vidyate tasya yameri shuddhi. So here um, क परेत नगरी पुरंदरा क भवेत तद किंकरा कृष्ण नाम जगदेक मंगलम कंठपीठम उदरी कौरचित महावीर मंद मनो विचिन्त्य बहुधा यामिश्चरम यातना नामिनः प्रभवन्ति पापरिपवा स्वामिनः श्रीधरा आलस्यं वपनीय भक्ति सुलभम ध्यायस्व नारायणम लोकानां व्यसरापनोदनकरम दासस्य किं न क्षमा. So Kulshekhar Alvar and Padyavali gives so many evidences that you don't have to be afraid of Yamaraj if you are chanting the holy name. But obviously, even offenders also don't go to hell. But still, we have to be careful not to commit offenses. The Gurudev used to say that Bhagavan has not yet designed hell for the persons who commit offense and criticize Vaishnavas, because the Vaishnava Aparadha is so serious. It is more sinful than committing all the sins in the world combined together. So we'll carry on our discussion. We are stopping at this page, so I'll make note of this verse. We are at the chapter at the beginning of the page number 284 of this wonderful book, Madhurya kadambini. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhesha kripa sindhu vevacha Paridanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So I'll give Jai Dhani now. जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गांधर्विका गिरधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहार जी की जय. जय मिथिला पृष्ठ जगतगुरु शिष्य भक्तिदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज गुरुदेव की जय. लीला विष्णु विष्णुपा शिष्य भक्तिदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. लीला विष्णु विष्णुपा शिष्य भक्तिदांत त्रिविक्रम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. लीला विष्णु विष्णुपा श्री श्रीमद भक्ति स्वरूप सिद्धांति महाराज की जय. सपरिकर शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती प्रभुपाद ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गोवर्धन द्वार शवनात्मक श्री मंडल की जय. गंगा जमुना तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय. जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. त्रिंडी स्वामी शिष्य भक्तिदांत दंडी महाराज की जय. नामनिष्ठ संत श्री दास प्रभु की जय. श्री माधुर्य कादम्बिनी की जय. श्री विश्वनाथ जी ठाकुर की पाद की जय. समागत भक्त वृंद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. हरि हरि बोल. हरे कृष्णा. थैंक यू सो मच. हरे कृष्णा. दंडवत प्रणाम. हरि बोल. हरि बोल.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much.
जय जय
Hare Krishna daily practice, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much. So we'll see you all tomorrow for Java Dharma classes. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
दंड दंड
Vanchaka Kripa
उपास
Sindhu Devacha
प्रदानम
Navadipya
कृष्ण
Vaishnava
निताय गौर
Namo Namaha.
प्रेमानंदे. हरि हरि.
Hare Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams.
दंड 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 हरि हरि.